showrooms, and
We'll call the meeting of the Planning Commission August 11th to order. Roll call. Kevin? Alderman Close? Braden? Kim? Joe? The mayor is absent today. We have a quorum. If you are able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have any potential conflicts of interest from the commission? If there are none, I'll look for approval of the minutes of the July 28th, 2026 Planning Commission meeting.
So moved. Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve as presented. Under discussion. No further discussion. All in favor of the motion state aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Under public hearings, public hearing regarding application for conditional use permit with exceptions by Haran LLC to operate a convenience store and gas station located at 2235 North Avenue. Anyone wishing to be heard on this matter? Anyone wishing to be heard? Last call. Anyone wishing to be heard? Take a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to close the public hearing. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Public hearing regarding application for conditional use permit with exceptions by Thomas Stemper to construct an apartment to the second floor of the commercial facility located at 1530 South 12th Street. Anyone wishing to be heard on this matter? Please come to the podium, state your name and address. Thank you.
Tom Stemper, and 7414 County Road P, Plymouth. I'd just like to say it's a minimal change to the current property. Really, it was an apartment probably 50 years ago, and it was kind of left that way. We want to turn it back to an apartment. All we need to do is install a shower because about 5-10 years ago, the tub was removed. Other than that, there'll be minimal changes to the apartment, other than like new carpeting or something of that nature.
Great. Thank you, sir. Anyone else wishing to be heard? One more time. Anyone wishing to be heard? I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to close the public hearing. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Items for discussion and possible action. Architectural review of an exterior remodel and addition at Edward Jones located at 3019 Superior Avenue. Elise. Sorry.
The proposed project includes expansion of the existing office and improved building aesthetics. The materials include LP siding, stone wainscoting, and shingled roof.
Excellent. And I know we have all seen the revised drawings. If you want to come on up, Joe's going to have some questions for you, so it's easier for you to come up there. Sounds great. So, commission members, any questions for our applicant today? Joe?
I appreciate the additional submittal information, but going through that, there are still some significant discrepancies in the drawings between the various plans and elevations. So I have a whole list of questions that I'm hoping you can answer, so we don't have to table it to come back again.
Okay, happy to answer.
Don't know if your architect is available to answer any of these.
They're not. They're not right now. If I wish I would have known, I would have made sure that they were available.
Okay, well, let's see if we can
Okay.
get through these
We'll
and
do our best we
address
can.
them. Maybe,
Yep.
maybe you can get them all. So the original conceptual rendering is very different from the actual submittal. I know it was intended to convey sort of the intent rather than the specifics.
Yes.
The materials are different. The masonry material on the renderings was stone, on the current submittals is brick.
Yes.
But it's still labeled both ways, brick and stone in the drawings.
It's going to be brick. I'm not the ladies in my office are picking out the materials, and they went and talked to one of the local construction supply companies, and they determined that brick would be better.
So it is brick, okay.
Yes.
The northeast portion of the existing building, so that the wall as
Yeah.
it jogs back from the small addition to that north end. The elevations are showing the brick wainscot continuous from that new front piece all the way back to the front of the addition.
Could I step forward? Could you, the northeast or the northwest?
Let's see, the northwest, that would be.
Yeah, you said
No,
northeast. I'm
North,
thinking,
northeast.
that's the new part of the building. I believe it wraps around 4 or 5
we're-
feet. Could I approach and just take?
So this portion,
It will be continued. The brick will be all the way.
okay.
The brick will be continuous.
Because the plans and the foundations don't show any way of supporting that currently, but that is the intent.
Do you, let me just.
Right, so west is that way, east is that way.
So, I mean, the east elevation, do you have these drawings here, east elevation?
Yes, the elevation drawings are showing the brick, but your plans and the foundation plan don't reflect the brick going there.
Okay.
So just trying to figure out which one it's supposed to be,
The brick will be continuous.
okay? And then on those same sections of wall, there are 2 existing windows shown on the plan to stay, but they're not showing up on the elevation.
It's going to be a little bit of a complicated joining of the 2 buildings. And the architect said as they're building it, it might be an inch or 2 different on some different things, on some elevations. So he's going to want to talk to the builder at that point. But that's, the window will be there, and the one where the window is, yes, there'll be a window there. Most likely, unless when they get, as the builder, it's going to be complicated to join the 2 buildings.
The 2 windows that I'm looking at are fairly removed from the addition.
The architect has them removed right now. Yes.
The elevation,
Yes.
on the plan, they're still shown staying.
Yes, the plan is correct. They will be there, as
Okay.
far as I understand. The architect is wanting to talk to the builder as the building is starting he said because of the joining of the 2 buildings, it's going to be fairly complicated. So he wants to talk, there could be 2 to 3 inches of difference in a couple of areas with the elevation at that point. So that will be somewhat complicated how those are joined. But the plan is to have the windows there.
Okay, I understand the complications of the tie-in.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that impacts the windows.
Well, and the architect's not
The
here.
question I would have if the windows are staying is
Staying.
what size those are and the relation of the head of the existing windows and the sill.
The existing windows are double wide. They're both 2 wide, and I believe they're 4 feet by 3 feet. They're 4 feet high by 3 feet, I believe.
I'm just trying to figure out how they relate to the new windows going in, whether the heights are going to be different.
We're
or
going to
if they're
try and
supposed to
match the
line
whole
up.
windows, all the windows across the front. We are going to try and match all the windows across the front. The windows have not been ordered yet, but they will all, it's going to be we're planning on having them all match all the way across the front.
I'm glad to hear they're not ordered yet.
What's
It's
that?
The new windows proposed for the north elevation of the existing building, where you're putting that small extension on for the stair. The windows that are in the elevation drawings are very different from what was in the conceptual rendering.
That's correct.
I'm wondering if it might be possible to also have those be extended to be taller, to have the transom and the dropped sill, so they match the other windows on the front elevation?
My intention is to have all the windows across the front match.
Okay.
They're all going to match in height and everything.
I would prefer to see them match the proportion of those windows has taken on a horizontal aspect where all the others are vertical.
Yep.
So getting the taller windows there,
Yep.
they would all relate
I
better,
agree.
I think.
Yes.
So perfect. If that can be changed, that would be good.
Yep.
The brick wainscot appears to have some sort of transition material at the top of
Yes.
the cap as it steps back to the siding. Do you know what that material is supposed to be?
I have not, I haven't selected that yet. I'm not sure. It's just, it's going to be a stone. It's going to be a stone material.
Okay, that's what I was looking
Yep.
for. Is it stone? I wanted to make sure it wasn't just going to be pre-finished metal. or
No,
something
it's going to be
like that.
stone. It'll
Okay.
be a stone ledge.
Presumably that will be used for the sills of the windows where they
Yes.
cut into the wainscot as well?
Yes.
Okay. This one you probably can't answer, but your exterior wall systems don't seem to indicate any continuous insulation layer. So curious how energy code's being met, which may impact some of the details on what's being shown on the drawings?
I mean, as far as I can answer, everything is going to be, a lot of the interior walls are also going to be insulated for noise. So there will be a lot of insulation throughout the building. And so the insulation, I mean, all the walls, you're talking about the exterior walls?
Yeah, exterior walls are required to have a
Yep.
thermal break so you don't have thermal bridging.
Yep.
So new code requires either a continuous layer of insulation outside of the studs or special ways of approaching what's happening within the stud wall.
Yes.
What was noted on these drawings was the old conventional way of doing walls.
Okay.
It didn't include that.
Okay.
So if they go to a continuous layer of exterior insulation,
Yes.
it'll offset all the siding,
Yep.
which will change some of the details.
Okay.
So it was just trying to get a handle on what else might be changing in the drawings from what we've seen.
You know, we're going to do it up to code. And so the architect is from Stevens Point. And so he's the one that designed the original reconstruction of the building, remodeling of the building, and then the addition that was put on there. So that's why I utilized him. But everything will be done according to code.
And then the exterior wall sections are showing a masonry foundation ledge to pick up the brick wainscot. At least that's what I'm assuming, that it's going to be a full 3 5/8 inch
Yes.
masonry wainscot.
Yep.
Because that doesn't end up showing in the sections, just the ledge, but not how the masonry is going up above. So I have some questions on the relation of the finished grade to the finished floor. They're currently shown at the same height. And there are some implications there with requiring a minimum 6-inch space between grade and your LP siding, and how the brick is going to get weeped out. And my concern is that we end up with an infill material that isn't called out or shown anywhere, that's not going to be visually appealing between grade and the materials that are being shown.
I mean, as far as what you're asking, I mean, the wainscoting will wrap around all of the siding that we have will go up to that, and then it will go down close to the ground. There will also be, there'll be landscaping that'll go around that as well, so that there will hopefully be it'll be joined together. We don't want this building to be visually unappealing.
Okay. Another clarification at the south end of the east wall. The plan is showing a section of wainscot going in there that doesn't show up on the elevations.
The south end of the east wall,
I'm assuming that's just a glitch on the plans.
yeah, that should just be wrapped around siding. If it's the
Yep.
southeast that I'm thinking about, yes, that the wainscoting will just be wrapped around the front.
Yep.
On both sides, and then nothing in the back.
It's what I assumed.
Yes.
but Just trying to clarify.
Okay.
There's a discrepancy. Some of the drawings show your Edward Jones signage over the new window on the north
Yes.
gable wall. Is that still the intent?
Yes,
And then it looks as if it's a two-tenant building?
Yes.
So is there additional signage planned somewhere else?
Yes, it looks like there's going to be an accounting firm that's going to go in there also on the other side, and so that's why there's space over there that they will have a sign on that side where there's space on the east side of the front of the building, of the north side of the building. So you can see where there's a fair amount of wall space in the front, that's where their sign will be. And they haven't picked out a sign, we will just be providing them electricity for that.
Okay.
And then my last question, and thank you for your
Okay.
patience in working through them all.
That's fine.
The original rendering showed a couple of decorative sconce light fixtures on the columns of the entry
Yes.
canopy. Are those still planned, or have those gone away?
No, those will be there. We'll have lighting along the front
Okay,
and some lighting that, along the different sections of the front of the building.
but if they're not soffit lights, down lighting, so that they're part of
The sconce lights,
there'll be
yes.
sconces.
Yes,
Just a couple of them at the entry canopy? Are you planning more of those?
right, just at the entryway.
Okay.
The sconce lights are at the entryway.
Great. Just trying to clarify that we know what you're intending so we can
Yep.
comment accordingly for
I
that.
understand.
And thank you for working through all those questions. I think the only things that I would have concerns on would be the transition material between grade and whatever's happening with your decorative exterior finishes, your siding and your masonry, because there will be some transition there. I'm assuming that grade will actually be dropped down a little lower and that there'll be like a foundation cover board there.
Yeah.
But if you could have your architect update the drawings and provide that, that's something that staff could review at a staff
Okay.
level to make sure it's acceptable.
Could I ask you to provide that for me in writing so that I know exactly what you're looking for?
I believe the city on the architectural review pieces would provide written comment to you on these are the things that.
I would appreciate that, because I'll be happy to answer
one-
whatever questions you have, and I'll submit them to the architect, and so they
Would
will.
be
end up-
that, and then the window change at the front that you
Yes.
said you'd be interested in doing as well.
Please, any questions that you have, if I could get them in writing, and I'll pass them along, and I'll get them back to you.
Great.
Joe, how about the insulation? Is that staff level, or are you okay with the answer there?
As long as it's per code.
Okay,
That's
good.
fine,
I thought
and
so, but I want to make sure.
I think that can be modified and it won't have a huge impact on the elevations and how they look. There's some detailing questions, but
Great,
the architect should be dealing with all that.
great, sounds good. Any other questions from the commission? If not, I'll entertain a motion. Joe?
So I would make a motion to approve with the exception that the windows at the north elevation be resubmitted to match the existing or the other new windows, and that the architect provide information on the transition between grade and finished materials.
We have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, under discussion. So basically, this just gives the city a roadmap, so when they go out to the site, building inspection knows what to look for. So if they can just come back and give us an accurate drawing
Yes.
so that we know what to look for. I get you're probably gonna have to wiggle some of the things with the contractor when you're out there, but as soon as that's figured out, just get us some drawings back so we
Yeah.
know what to look for.
Okay, so I'll get something in writing, I just want to make sure I
Yep,
understand.
yep.
And then when do I have to reply to that by?
We'll probably want to apply, if you can do that before you get building permits.
Okay. And so, but do I have to come before the planning commission, or is it I just want to make
Just
sure I
staff.
understand.
Just staff level at this point.
Okay, all right. Okay, anything else?
It's trying to save you having to come back again.
No, I understand. I appreciate it. So, all right.
Great, if no further discussion, all in favor of the motion, state aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye opposed. Motion carried,
Okay,
good luck.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you. Number 8, application for conditional use permit with exceptions by Haran LLC to operate a convenience store and gas station located at 2235 North Avenue, Elise.
The property was previously operated as a convenience store with retail gasoline sales. The business has been closed for more than a year, requiring the conditional use permit.
Great, is the applicant here? Sounds good. If you could just give us your name and give us any input on this topic that you would like at this time, it'd be great. Okay, any questions from the commission? Alderman Close?
Thank you. And I just want to say I'm really glad to see that this site is getting new life. It's been vacant for a while, as you pointed out. The only other point that I'd just like to make, and it's out of scope for this project because it does sound like you're basically just going to be turning on, I would love to see some investment in EV infrastructure in the future. So if there's ever any consideration for updating or upgrading this site in the future beyond what's currently there, I would love to see something like that. But again, out of scope for this current project, I'm just grateful to see that there's some improvement going into this corner. Thanks. Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Any other questions from the commission? If none, I'll entertain a motion. It's been motioned and seconded to approve as presented. Under discussion, do you have a timeline for construction and opening or reconstruction, whatever you're doing on site?
Opening would be hopefully in September. And then any interior and exterior construction would be probably in about 2 to 3 months.
Great. Oh, Valders had a tough day today. There's a tough score to see. All right, great. No further discussion. All in favor of the motion, state aye. Aye. Chair votes aye, opposed. Motion carries. Good luck.
Awesome. Thank you.
Number 9, finally, application for conditional use permit with exceptions by Thomas Stemper to construct an apartment to the second floor of the commercial facility located at 1530 South 12th Street. Elise?
Currently, this building is commercial. The proposed use is converting the upper floor to a single-family apartment. There's no changes to the exterior of the building. The only renovations needed is a shower stall. As many years ago, this was an owner-occupied apartment.
Sounds familiar. Mr. Stemper is here to answer any questions. Any commission members have a question? If not, I'll entertain a motion. Oh, sorry. Ken?
No, just some further discussion. I just wanted to say I'm glad to see that there's more housing going into the area. To see a commercial space like this converted into residential properties is a good thing to see.
Excellent. Good feedback. Any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve. Under discussion? No further discussion. All in favor of the motion, state aye. Aye. Chair votes aye, opposed. Motion carried. Good luck, sir. Tentative date for our next meeting, please note, Wednesday, August 26th at 4 p.m., not Tuesday. Next meeting will be Wednesday, August 26th. That concludes our agenda. Entertain a motion to adjourn. It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, state aye. Chair votes aye. We stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.